welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and today we're going to be pickling carrots. So I found a pickled carrot, jalapeno, and onion recipe in the all-new Ball Book of Canning, and we're going to try to do that one. So if you have this, it's on page 234. It's called Homestyle Pickled Jalapenos. Of course, I'm going to tweak it a little bit and probably just do my own thing like I always do. But that's the basic recipe I'm following. So, all it is just your vinegar, really, onions, carrots, pepper, salt, and sugar and garlic. It's your basic pickling recipe. It's just... you know, it has the times in here, and so I like to follow something that gives me the times. So, anywho, I'm going to show you how to peel carrot real fast. So real fast, I'm going to show you a little tricky way to peel some carrots. You know, we're all used to doing this, and it takes off a lot of the meat, and the skin is the best part for you, right? So, get a brand new thing of steel wool, and then what you're going to do is you're going to get it wet, and then you're going to polish it with that steel wool all the way around. It peels it for you, and it just cleans it real good. It takes the dirt off and leaves a bit of skin. So it's a super fast way. I'll zoom in and so you can see that real fast. Alright. So, again, I'll bring this forward right here. I like to do it in the bowl of water. You just take your steel wool and run it up and down really fast, and it just cleans it super fast. Just like that. See? Cleans it really, really fast. And then you have, I mean, it's just really fast. You still have a little bit of skin left behind too, and it just takes all the dirt off. So you can do that, which I do that a lot. Or you can, you know, do this and take off quite a bit. So, but the steel wool one is my go-to because it's just easier. You just go like ninja. So once you have all your carrots nice and cleaned, I'm going to do them all later, but I'm going to show you real fast what I do. You can cut your carrots in strips and make them look super beautiful, which I might do for some of them, but most of the time I just want to get it done fast. So I have this, which is the most dangerous tool I've ever used. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. Top of my finger got completely sliced off. I was doing cabbage for sauerkraut, and I thought, oh, I don't need gloves, and I was just going, and went all the way to the bone. And it's taken a long time for it to even get any feeling back, and it's just like straight now. So wear gloves, no matter how ninja you think you are. You're not. You're gonna hurt yourself. So I learned my lesson. Anyways, wear those gloves. So you're gonna take your carrot and just go really fast like that, wearing your gloves so you don't cut yourself. These gloves saved my fingers. So, and they're nice and thin. I might want to make them a little bit thicker, so you can, on this, I can adjust the thickness. But it just gets the job done really fast. Or you can go like this, long ways, for longer pieces of the carrot, like that. It's up to you. However you want your carrots to be sliced for pickling. So I'm going to sit here and peel a bunch of carrots and slice them up and get them all ready for us to make that pickled recipe, okay? We'll be back. Alrighty, so it's the next day. I have all of my carrots chopped up in a big bowl ready to go. I have some grape leaves I like to add to it because I like to add them to all my stuff. It helps with keeping things crisp. We have jalapenos. The recipe in the Ball Blue Book calls for jalapenos and onions. And it's just your basic Mexican pickled carrots. So the ratio in the book is for vinegar is equal parts of vinegar and water. It's your basic vinegar that you would do. I like to add a little bit more vinegar than water, so I'll be doing that. And in the book it calls for 1 tablespoon of sugar per 5 cups of liquid and 2 tablespoons of salt per 5 cups of liquid. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add my salt to each jar and my sugar to each jar because I like to do it precisely like that. Also calls for cloves of garlic. I'm not going to do cloves of garlic. I like to save my cloves for my fermentations. I do a lot of fermenting. So I'm going to use minced garlic, and that's where you can utilize your minced garlic is in your candy. Okie dokie, so let's get started. So I have 3 cups of water here. I'm going to put it in my pot. And then my vinegar's down here. I'm going to put 4 cups of vinegar. I'd like to do a little bit more, so I'm going to do 4 cups of vinegar. All right. I'm also going to get a bay leaf. My cabinets are always open. I am notorious for leaving my cabinets open. And I decided to make sure they were closed before I filmed, but of course I have to open it up to get my bay leaves. See, now it's open. Alright, I'm going to put a couple bay leaves. The recipe does not call for it, but I like to put bay leaf in there. For a little bit of, I love the smell of bay leaf. Okay, I'm going to make sure to close my cabinets. My whole life I've always left the cabinets open. My husband always hits his head on them and he just gets a little grumpy about it. I'm trying. So anyways, the cabinet's closed. Okay, so we got the bay leaf and we're going to heat this up. I actually have my jars heating up in water on the stove too because when I water bath, I like to warm my jars up in the water. Clean them a little bit. Disinfect it a little bit, I guess. Not disinfect. Why do I keep on saying disinfect? What is it called? Sanitize. Haha. Sanitize them a bit more when I water bath. You don't have to. If you're water bathing anything more than 10 minutes, it sanitizes itself. I just want to get them hot and a little bit, make sure they're just clean. Alright, let's heat up that in the back. Oh, I forgot to add my water to it. So we're going to add the water. Let's add the water. There we go. We're going to add water to it. You can add anything you want to this recipe. Spice-wise, it does not change the timing of your water bath. So, you can add peppercorn to it, chili flakes, the pickling spice, which I'm not fond of the pickling spice, but sometimes it's good in some things. I have my lids in hot water right here. Even my tin lids, I always put in hot water, and they always seal, usually, knock on wood. So I'm using, I have a few new jars I had to get out of storage, so they have the lids with them, so I'm not using Tattlers today. And I'm reusing 3 older lids. I'm reusing these, I'm using older lids for 3 of them because they're going to just get opened up right away by my husband. So might as well use the old lids. And then we're going to start loading our jars up. They should be, they're nice and warm right now. Alright, so let's get the carrots. and put them in. And you know, I'm gonna bring you in for a closer look. Okay, so here's all our jars lined up, and we're just gonna start filling them up. So we're gonna start with carrots in each one. I like to use my funnel. Carrots in each one. Now these are 1.5 jars, so if you were doing pint jars, you could water bath for 10 minutes, but I'm gonna go 15 because they're 1.5. Usually, you wanna do quart times for 1.5 jars. And anything, so let's say you have a tiny jar and it's smaller than a pint, then you would just do pint times. So anything that's bigger than a pint, you do quart times. And on this, quart times, you know, it varies. There's, I looked and there's like 10 minutes for everything. So I'm just gonna go 15 just to be on the safe side. It's not gonna hurt it. All right. Put the onions in. We're going to smash everything in as much as we can. Because it's going to cook down. I left my dogs out front. They want to come in. I'm going to have to open the door for them. All right. Okay, and then let's put some jalapenos in. Each jar. I don't know, maybe a good little handful. Maybe 4 or 5. You know what? I'm gonna do 4. I'm gonna do 4 in each. Because we're going to do another layer. We don't want too much. Okay. You put however much you want in though. Okay. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and add one of my grape leaves right now, just onto the side of the jar. Give it a little something pretty on the side of the jar. When we add this next round of carrots, we're going to smash it. I'm going to use my ferment smasher I have. So I have this thing I use for my ferments, and it's a good little jar smasher to press everything in. I'm gonna break the onion down. The onion takes up space. And because we're using regular tin lids, we can go to a 1/2 inch headspace. If you're using Tattlers, you'd have to stay with a 1 inch. so we can fill these up a little bit higher than we would with tackers. Of course, I never use gloves. I've said before, there's a trick to getting the spice off. You just rub your hands in oil. Should pull it out. For me, it does. If it doesn't work for you, that's probably your skin. Because for me, I just rub my hands in oil or lemon or both, and then the spice, it gets pulled out by the oil because it's a carrier for things. All right. So now we can add, probably top a little bit more carrot on top. I have so many carrots, so I'm going to shove as much carrots as I can on top. It seems really full. After I get it out, it's going to decrease a lot. Decrease a lot, so let's just add a couple more. All right, so let's go ahead. Our brine's hot, nice and hot now. Let's go ahead and add our brine. Now I'm not going to worry about wiping the jars because until afterwards, because it's vinegar. So let that settle. Just gonna put a little in each one, and then I'm gonna add my salt and stuff after I put a little, because I want to see if I need to make more. I might need to make more. Make more, so I think I need to make just about a cup more, or maybe a couple cups more, so I'll do that. Alright, so I made some more brine, and this time I decided, because I'm running low on white vinegar, I decided to use a little bit of apple cider vinegar instead, which is fine. You can use any vinegars. Forgot, I have to add my salt and my garlic before I top it off. Alright, so we're going to just add a nice little spoon of garlic each one. And then when we add the water, or the vinegar, it should rinse down. I should have done this first. I forgot! That's okay. Now I'm gonna have to wipe my rims. Oh well. Here. And then we're gonna add salt and some sugar. Just a little bit of sugar, just to give it a little sweet taste. Alright, put that aside. I'm going to add a little sugar to it too, and just like a little shake, a little coating. Sugar always brings out the salt flavor. It just makes things taste a little bit better. You don't have to put the sugar in, but I do. And then we're gonna put our salt. And just a half a teaspoon. Got a half a teaspoon in each one. So I don't measure because I know what, I've been cooking so long, I know what a half a teaspoon feels like in my hand. So I'll put a little bit more in each one because I think it needs the salt. I'm going to add a teaspoon. About a teaspoon each one. Alright, now we can put the rest of our brine in. And the brine's only halfway on these, so it should rinse in pretty well. I'm going to debubble with my wand. I have this. So we're going to debubble also. While we debubble, it's going to mix that garlic in. Alright. I should have added that in first, y'all, but oh well. Sometimes I get in such a hurry to get things done. You make little tiny mistakes like that. It's okay. Okay, so let's put our lids on. Make sure the rims are all clear. You got the all clear. Alright, so we got our used lid. Fingertip tight. And put that in my jar. Another used lid. Fingertip tight. Put it in my jar. My canner, I mean. This is a new lid. Fingertip tight. Some people can add like oregano, cloves too, but I'm not on this one. On the next one I might add some oregano and cloves. I don't know. It's your recipe. You add whatever you want. Alright, so I'm getting them all in the canner right here, the Waterbath canner. Alrighty y'all, so I lowered the jars in my Waterbath canner and we're going to wait till it comes to a rolling boil. And then I start the timer. I'm going to do 15 minutes because they're 1.5 pints. And then when they're done, I'll show you when I take them out. Okie dokie, so it's been 15 minutes and our jars are ready to be taken out of the Waterbath canner. Nice and pretty, nice and pretty. They look so beautiful. Sorry, my recorder stopped on me. So I had to restart. Anyways, these are nice and pretty. I love how these look in my pantry. They're so beautiful. So see, there's only a little bit of floating, and that's after they're cooled down, they should sink. But the reason why, if you find your vegetables float a little, is because you didn't blanch them before. So I raw packed, and if you don't want that floating at all, then you would have to blanch them, and then that would take care of that. But I don't mind, and it usually will settle down after a while. So they're so beautiful. Alright, so let's start waiting for that pinging sound. Now with tattlers I could tell right away usually because they start concaving. With these I have to wait till the ping. In the meantime, I have other jars. I made quarts up. So I made some quarts up, and we're going to put these ones in and water bath these ones for 15 minutes. I don't want to shock the jars, so I'm okay, so I'm not going to put them in like the water just yet. I'm going to just put them barely on the rack just to acclimatize them to the heat of the water because I don't want thermal shock. It does have hot vinegar in it, but it's cooled down some. So we want to acclimate it to the heat of the water. So let the steam heat it up before I lower it in. These jars have cooled down a bit. So I'll let them sit in the top rack. Just like that, just sitting up in the rack, and then I'll lower it once the jars get about the same temperature as the water. Alright, because if I don't do that, they might crack and break and I'll get thermal shock. So, okay, let's see. Alrighty, well the jars have started pinging, so they're all sealing, and that's how you make pickled jalapeno onion carrots. Okie dokie y'all. Talk to you later.